Hey everybody, welcome to the Wise Guys 2.0. Well, actually it's 1.0. We're missing Carlos's internet sucks, so we're not doing two people on the mic. I'm just doing a me. So we're gonna have the I'm gonna do the preview by myself, and we're gonna do it with the AFC North. Start from just like the other videos, from fourth place to first place. And we're going to go like this. The AFC North division, it's me a black and blue division like the NFC North, but these teams are going to be separated by just a few games, I think. And I'm making an outrageous pick here. It might seem outrageous, man, but, well, no, it's not outrageous. I'm a flip-flop. I'm going to go with the Browns fourth. I was going to pick them third, man, but I like what they did with Brandon Weeden. I love the running back Trent Richardson. Not too much in love with the receivers. The receivers are good, but they're up and coming. Corners are really good for the Browns. But I just think they're one of these teams that's a year away, that they've got some work to do still. And I would love for Cleveland to make the playoffs. I really would. That's a fan base that just gets shitted on so much. And it's a good fan base. But, you know, Cleveland's just not quite there yet. They're close. And I would love for them to make the playoffs, man. But I think they win 7 games, and they're very competitive. They're much like a Buffalo Bills this year. They'll give you a lot more fight than you're accepting. That you think you're gonna be like, oh, my team's got the Browns this year or this week, and you're gonna think easy win. But I think they're gonna give some teams some problems. They're gonna try to establish a name for themselves, an identity, and I think they win 7 games tops, 6 to 7 games. I would love for them to make the playoffs, man. But they'd have to have a lot of bounces going their way. I just think they're too inexperienced. One more year, and next year we'll be talking about them making the playoffs. Third place, I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Mike Tomlin, he doesn't have those coward guys to fall back on anymore, with the exception of Roethlisberger. I think this team continues to fall backwards. I think they're going to have a lot of turnovers. Their running situation is a joke. Losing Wallace will hurt despite what they say. And their defense, yeah, they've had a lot of turnover. All those Ike Davises and what's his name, Ferrier and all those guys, Lloyd, all those guys are gone now. They flipped the script. They're a young defense. I think they get exposed. I think Roethlisberger starts turning the ball over some more because he's going to be forced to throw the ball some more. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't going to have that grind it out, run the clock out, take 8-minute drives, and then have your defense stymie them and all this other stuff. That mystique is really fading away this year. I got the Steelers winning only 8 games this year, maybe 7, and being close to Cleveland for that last place. Then that moves me to second place. Now, obviously, the other day we saw, I had a lot of my friends tell me Baltimore was so good, this and that, and I do believe they're good. But they will make mistakes because they've had a lot of turnover, and that will make a big. I will make a big deal about Ray Lewis not being there. He is the emotional leader. I don't care what people say. Even when the Ravens weren't all that good, that guy got them to be playing above their heads. But with him not being there, Joe Flacco will have a good season, but they will take their lumps. I still think they're a playoff team. I still think they get 9, 10 wins because a lot of people forget, man. I mean, they won 10 or 11 games last year. I think it was 10, but they had a pretty crappy second half of the season. So, I mean, yeah, they got hot at the right time in the postseason, but I don't see that happening again this year. They're going to have a bullseye on their back. The Ravens will win some games. They will be tough. They're the Super Bowl champs, but I still think they're 9-7, 10-6 type team. That leaves me with the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals remind me a lot of the Seahawks as far as them having a deep roster, having a deep secondary. Well, not as good as secondary. No one could beat the Legion of Boom. But anyway, they have a deep secondary. They have really good wideouts, nice running back, good offensive line. Andy Dalton's the only freaking question mark on that team. This team can win anywhere, I think, from 12 games to 8 games. Because it all depends on Dalton. Dalton has been so unimpressive the last 2 seasons in the wild card games against Houston, and then Houston goes out and gets blasted the next week. I think he's a serviceable quarterback. He reminds me of a Matt Hasselbeck. He's not a guy that you're looking at and you're like, damn, dude, we got Andy Dalton this week. You're like, oh, Andy Dalton's decent. But can you like as a Seahawks fan, I couldn't tell you the game or remind you of a game where I sat back and said, "Damn, Matt Hasselbeck brought us all the way back. You know, he fought for us and he got us that game-winning touchdown." I think it's the same thing with Andy Dalton. I can't look back and say, "Damn, when was the last time Andy Dalton really led a comeback or made that big throw?" Or there might be a regular season game here and there, but he's not clutch. I think if he wants to take the next step, you've got to have a fear of that quarterback. And I think there's a lot of first-year guys from last season. I mean, good God, dude, look at Andrew Luck. 7 comeback wins last year for the Colts. I can't tell you one that Andy Dalton had. So, I mean, I just think he's a workman's quarterback. If he manages a game, that's good. If he gets you the lead, watch out. But I like the Bengals to win that division. But they're just one of those teams where if I had to put money on it, are they going to go far in the playoffs? Are they going to, outright blow a team out certain weeks? I couldn't place a bet on that team. I'm sorry. It's not a team I have, or not a quarterback I have too much faith in. Let's just put it that way. He could take the next step, or he could regress, but it's not for me. I wouldn't put money on him. So that's my breakdown. Browns 4th, Steelers 3rd, 2nd place Ravens, Bengals 1st. So catch our next video. Be the NFC North. All right, later.